Alright, so today we're going to be using every LR from first to last. It's almost a year has passed since the first LR. LR Lost Vein, which was a perfect pick, as the first LR was so hype. But how has it been? We have, what, 5 or 6 LRs? I forgot. And how it's been almost a year after, is the hype still there as the first one? LRs were such a great concept because we needed something, especially for old units, and we got something for old units, but I think it kind of lost its thing throughout, the releases. But Lost Vein was the release. Out of all of the characters to get an LR, choosing Lost Vein was the correct answer, because, anyone that you can ask that played when Lost Vein first released will tell you how great of a moment that was. You know what I mean? Like, he was so cool to play with, he was so hype, and I think his LR did him so much justice. Like, these days, obviously, we're about to witness him probably get destroyed, but at the moment when this guy got an LR, it was so powerful. And the thing is that every single year, a new Meliodas releases in December. We all know, except that one time. And except that one time in 2019, when there was... actually, we did get a Meliodas in 2019. Never mind. It was like the Green Demon Meliodas. In any case, we got a new Meliodas. And the thing is that this melee would have had to compete against the current melee of the time. I need to kill him. Please kill. Which was Purgatory Melee. And he did. But in an interesting way, because he was... I would say the number one choice, like, I'm talking about Lost Vein, number one choice for the Sins team, while Purgatory Melee was still the number one choice for the Demon team, but you could still say that, they were either good for either team as well. It was a good time. We had 2 really good Meliodases roaming around. Right now, it's not actually that much worse. We actually do have 2 good Meliodases roaming around. We do have Demon King Melee and Assault Melee, but, Lost Vein at that moment was a great release, and I don't think any of the LRs have captured it. You know what I mean? Since then, I don't think any of the LRs after got it like LR Lost Vein did. Well, after we had LR Escanor, which you could say did rival in hype Lost Vein, but not quite there. I just think that after Lost Vein, where they had a clear vision for a character, I think that then they started going in, okay, what can we make for the next? So Escanor, let's do the green one, and because he has a passive that is like 1 line long, we need to make up stuff, and that's where this character could have been more than he was, but he's still very cool. The fact that we got this Escanor, the green super old Escanor as an LR, is super cool. And, he was meta for a while when he came out. Like, legit, if not for the super annoying restriction of needing to have 4 humans on your team, the 3 in the front and the 1 in the back, this character would still be meta. It's just, the thing is, he's so reliant on that back unit that just never existed. We never got a back unit for humans. And, we did Red Roxy, which, wasn't the greatest. And the unit I'm using right now got a relic for it, which also wasn't the greatest, because low CC, and Arthur's team needs CC. And LR Escanor, once he came out, there was no Arthur, There was no Arthur. So him, Bon, and Roxy were meta together, and they were it was a DPS team. But again, no back unit, and they kind of needed to go first, so those options of back units that just weren't there didn't really help his case, But LR Escanor was a great choice. As choices go, this was the second best LR choice that we've ever had, and you can see a pattern of it going down. But first best choice, obviously, Lost Vein. And then for our second LR being an Escanor was number 1 choice as a character. And then out of the Ascanors, I think more people were happy than unhappy of it being Green Ascanor over Blue Dawn. I think that it being Green Ascanor was cooler because he was like the older, like the first Ascanor we've ever had. And he deserved an LR. Okay, this was too fascinating to play another one. Biggest difference between him and Lost Vein being that while Lost Vein got a passive that complemented his already existing passive, LR Ascanor didn't have a passive to be complemented. You know? Like all he had was, okay, when he has max ult gauge, he can't be buffed or debuffed. So they had to make up stuff, and most of what they made up was brilliant. Like the ignites on the enemies, increasing damage for his attacks, and increasing the damage that they take. You know, they did a very good stuff. I just don't understand why they had to include that last part of him needing to have a full human team. It's just really unfortunate, especially because as far as Meliodas go, we know there's gonna be a new Meliodas. At December is gonna be a new Meliodas, but Ascanor is kind of up in the air. I think, or at least I hope, there's gonna be a new Ascanor soon, hopefully for anniversary. I think that'll be a great time for a new Ascanor. Are you kidding me? But we don't know. While Meliodas, okay, if they messed up LR Lost Vein, which they didn't, LR Lost Vein was perfect for his time. Like, for, you know, a year ago or whatever when he came out, he was just brilliant. When is the next Ascanor gonna be? Who knows, right? So, we had a period of time of years without an Ascanor. Between Blue Dawn and the One Ultimate, we had no Ascanors in the game. So, and then since the One Ultimate, we haven't had a new Ascanor. I won't count LR Ascanor. I'm talking about like a new banner Ascanor. Yeah, LR Ascanor is technically new, but you guys know what I mean. He is new in quotations. He is still the Green Ascanor. That's not what I meant to do. Although I will get the AoE back, so I might as well. He is not the LR Ascanor, or sorry, the new Festival Ascanor we're waiting for. He is, you know, a new Ascanor that we can play with, but it's still base Ascanor, it's still Green Ascanor. It's not like when Lost Vein came out, we're like, oh, a new Meliodas, we don't need any more Meliodases, you know? It's like, we still are gonna get that December Meliodas, and we know that. But yeah, Ascanor was a good choice, just odd decisions. Next up, we got LR Elizabeth, which was a very odd choice. Not of character, but of unit. Elizabeth getting an LR, that's, you know, okay in my books for sure. But LR Red base Elizabeth was just so odd because so far we had Lost Vein, which was an iconic character. Green Ascanor, just as iconic. Red base Liz, maybe the SR, but the New Year's, not like who even thought of this unit for the past like 3 years before that. Not many people, but she got the LR. And in terms of power, you know, this is an LR unit. Like, she really was powerful. Strictly in PvE, which is why I'm just gonna be running her on Demonic Beast real quick. It should be fine. Strictly in PvE, but powerful nonetheless, because this is what LRs needed to be. They needed to accomplish a goal they didn't want to give to a summonable character. That's what I think, right? If they're gonna make it for PvE. For PvP, they're just powerful units, right? But I was thinking, you know, for every X amount of LRs, getting one that's PvE based makes sense to me. And when LR Liz came out, I was like, oh, that's cool. You know, we got a PvE Liz, or, you know, an LR for PvE. And the thing is, she is super powerful, and to the point where I don't know when she's gonna ever be phased out of the PvE meta. Like, the only way for her not to be used in a PvE activity is, like, legit if the boss does like 2000% more damage to goddesses, and then people are like, okay, I guess we can't use LR Liz. And that's exactly what happens in the Demon King fight. Like, LR Liz is so OP that even with that 2000, it might have been like, it might still be worth using LR Liz, you know? So as a release, although PvP characters are more hype per se, you know, they're cooler to look at, as a unit, this was great. As a choice of unit, you know, being New Year's Liz, I felt like that's where the cracks started forming. Because since this Liz, every single choice of LR to me was bad in terms of unit, apart from Zeldris. So maybe not every, but while we had sort of established LRs being sort of more important figures, you know, more important units in the game, New Year's Liz was a bit of a shock. And honestly, why? Right? Why? But she's really powerful. 30% basic stats to anyone. Very easy to get. The constant ult feeding for the allies and for herself. Like right here, ult, I do one attack with Liz and then she got her ult again. It's crazy. Can I get one melee card? She got her ult back. Except not, because this did remove an ult gauge. Or did it only debuff? Because if so, I can cleanse. Yeah, I cleansed. Full cleanse for the whole team with defense related stat buffing, attack related stat buffing with the ultimate, which we just, you know, we just talked about. Just keep refreshing. Is there ever gonna be a PvE character that can compare to this unit? That's, I think, a corner they put themselves in. But I think that this is what they were going for. Because when you look at it, this game has PvE, but it's undeniable it is mainly a PvP game. So when you think, okay, LR Liz is like super OP and she's used in every single PvE team, how are they ever going to make a character that's better than her and, like, you know, has more power creep above her? They don't have to. The game is mainly PvP. So okay, I talked enough that I think I can get out of this. I'll do my squirrel later. I haven't even done this week. But, you know, without Liz, can you even beat this? I don't think so. Quite possibly the worst choice of an LR so far, we have Margaret up next. And the reason why I think it's the worst choice is, for one, it is still compared to the characters that had gotten LR so far, a relatively new character, to the point where there wasn't much that was changed. The passive got a little more stuff included, and that was about it. This character did not move the needle where it should have, because her one purpose is the Goddess team. And the thing is, the Goddess team was already this. It was already Liz, Mael, Margaret. The only change is that Margaret now became an LR. It should have been another character that could have been included to the team, or, you know, potentially, like, why did we need to get this Ludociel as an LR? Why not the base Ludociel, which is older and, you know, has more stuff you can give to? Like, his passive is very small. There wasn't much they could have given to this character without making her broken. And that's what they did. They didn't make her broken. Terrible choice of an LR, and pretty much everyone that plays the game can agree with me. Let me be clear, I think Ludociel as a character deserves an LR. I think he's a good character. It's just, this one just didn't do too much, you know? And most of my team is AoEs, okay. It's fine, because we can do this. Boom, boom, boom. Yep. That will give them the ult gauge, and then Liz will remove the ult gauge. No problemo. Margaret did not improve, I think, the thing that needed to be improved the most. you need to use 5 blue cards. 5 to max out the basic stat increase. In a PvP game, that is just inconceivably long of a time period. And then on top of that, genuinely speaking, she does not help the team where it needed to be helped. And I think I just lost. This will remove the alt gauge. Because here's the thing. Elizabeth was the best unit on the team. Still is? I don't know. Now with Miles Relic, I don't know. But she was the best unit on the team. And the thing about Elizabeth is that you need to keep popping attack cards so her passive goes up. And then you get the big attack. Margaret wants you to use blue cards. For her passive to go up, you need to pop blue cards, but the team only has 1 blue card and you need 5! Terrible, terrible, so terrible. This character holds goddesses back so much because they technically got a recent quote-unquote character, so I don't think the devs are interested in giving them another one. And it's a shame. Like, Margaret set back goddesses months. And who knows when they'll recover. Terrible choice of an LR since day 1. Aged terribly. It's holding back goddesses because Elizabeth is phenomenal. Mael with his Holy Relic is terrific. Margaret's ass. Like, legit, she holds back the team so hard. Her passive does not mix well with the goddess characters. And the back unit is barely existent. Like, now, I need to continue this. I can't go on to the next one without finishing the spot. Now, the best back unit is Elat. Because you need damage, right? This thing, this little child, is not providing you what you need. You need damage. These defense-related stats are whatever. Because especially against Arthur, defense-related stats don't matter because damage increase is based on the HP, and he just does the damage regardless of your defense. So, you need more damage, so back unit needs to be better. Tristan Relic, please, anniversary. But this character is holding them back so hard, so it is what it is. LR Glocks is next, and I'm not gonna lie, when we got the news that the next LR was going to be Glocks, I was very happy because these commandment characters like Glocks, Dro, Monspeed, Derriere, they have not received anything for years. LR Glocks getting, Glocks getting an LR was huge, and I thought it was really cool. But he was garbage, and there was so much copium for this unit. Day 1, when he dropped, the people with huge copium were even hating on me because I tried to use him as his passive was intended. So he gives 10% defense related stats for each alive ally. So I was like, great, let's make a super tanky team for Glocks. And he also lowers enemy crit chance and crit damage if they bleed, which is garbage because he has a single target bleed. But let's try and make him like super tanky. Let's put the Nasha, let's make a super tanky team. People are like, no, you got the only way to choose is Jelly King. LR Glocks is so bad. So bad. The only redeemable quality about him is his Holy Relic, which has nothing to do with him. You know why? Because I can go... Where is it? Red Glocks. Oh, same thing. Same Holy Relic. Yeah. That is how bad this unit is. Now, credit where credit is due. He's the second highest CCLR, so he's used as a back unit. I know. Props. I am aware. And you might have seen on the LR Liz part of the video, as of 2 weeks ago, by the time I'm recording, or 1.5 weeks ago, since the release of Valenti, he is actually pretty good, funnily enough, on the new Demonic Beast. So, hey, he got the Glox got the last laugh. Because, yeah, unironically, he is pretty good on that beast. So, even though in PvP he sucks, and I genuinely cannot believe people really coped for him and were lying to people that he was good. Because this is the thing. My job here is to let you know if a unit is good or not, so you don't waste time investing yourself with that unit, isn't it? And I cannot in good conscience lie about a unit's usability unless I genuinely, you know, have a good time with that unit. Like, sometimes I can use a unit and make them look good, even though they're not that good, because of my box CC or whatever, right? Glox was so irredeemably bad that, like, when he came out, unless you were facing bots with your massive box CC, because, by the way, this team has such low CC that you can only really out CC bots with no food. You were just losing. You were. And I don't think I can win against this. By the way, I think we just lost. His commandment also doesn't help, by the way. Is really bad for King because he can double attack. Yeah, we just lost. Yeah. Terrible release. It is what it is. Depending on who she ults Mavis, I can still win. If she ults Glox, not Glox, Hellbrim, I think I can still win. No, because she's gonna full heal. Alright. Now the most recent of the LRs. LR Zeldris, and I'll be honest, after the two last pieces of crap releases of Margaret and Glox, I was very much looking forward to at least a good one. And they delivered. For one, Zeldris, good choice. For two, Blue Zeldris was a meme character. So taking him and making him actually good was great. Day one, I feel like it was hard to really see how to use him. And there are odd choices. I think that his relic doesn't help him that much in PvP, but he is a character that, because of his relic and because of his new LR status, he's actually really good in PvP and PvE. So, you know, he works as a double here. And they gave him enough stuff that I think there's some things here that kind of missed the mark. Like, he has to attack debuffed units, and he gives himself the buff, but after the buff he has like no crit chance, and he needs to move card to hit hard. That's not very good in PvP or anywhere at all, like wasting a turn like that. But even with all these setbacks of bad choices, like, remember, LRs so far have had many bad choices. LR Escanor, 4 characters have to be human. Margaret was a bad choice all around. Glox was a bad choice all around, for the most part. And then now Glox has, sorry, not Glox. Zeldris has a lot of bad choices in his passive. But he still came out on top and he's pretty good, so what can I say? And this is where I think LRs have a problem. The inconsistency on quality, and especially on let me see this damage. Okay. That Zeldris damage is pretty good. I didn't even move a card. So yeah, that Zeldris damage is pretty good. I was gonna say, yeah, I think quality is the biggest issue. You have, like, every single release, I think, in a way, ended up being worth making. Like, even Glox, right now, he's pretty good. So, like, he was worth making now. So, because of the new beast, right? But where it started with LRs being like, whoa, you know, LR Lost Vein is super OP, and LR Escanor can be super OP in the full human team. I feel like it kind of has dissolved into, hopefully the new one doesn't have a ton of flaws. And that's where we are right now. Hopefully the next LR does break this cycle we've been in the last 3, I think. I think even Zeldris is a victim of this. Just odd choices for the passives and just bad passives. Just the passive for Zeldris is bad. You look at how much text he has. Most of the stuff in his text is bad, but he still came out on top. Like, he's just that good. Let's do this. Get that crit damage buff. Like, I hate that I have to move this card to get the crit damage buff, but it's just how he was made, right? And this is gonna actually allow him to do more damage. LRs seem to be not somewhere that they drop characters that are premium. You know what I mean? Like, they drop characters that are good enough to be a placement on the team, right? Where Lost Vein, LR Lost Vein, felt like he kind of made the Sins team, because without him, yeah, you could use Purgatory Melee, but it wasn't the same thing. It just wasn't. Back then, if you played, the Sins team was LR Melee. Without LR Melee, you could have run Purgatory, but it was LR Melee. I feel like they now want LR to be a complement to the team. They're not team makers, they're complements to the team. So, they can do that, but if they are going to, I hope they stop making them so poorly. Anyways. But LRs are still a cool mechanic. Just, I don't know what's going on with them. I really don't.